what's happening with the eSM standard and what you're seeing from your customers and prospective customers.
So where do we start? Well, let's start it's 10 years ago. We effectively looked into the topic first, right? With Marcus Williams from RWC Plant Trading, met him at a dinner and we looked into the post-trade life cycle, identified that gap effectively in the back of a napkin, right? He brought it up to at that time, EFET, Energy Traders Europe, that time. Energy Traders Europe today. And I would take it across the industry, just validate that our assumptions were true across different conferences. You were, I think...
I was on my way in.
On your way in as well,
stage.
right? And it turned out there is a massive interest, right? So we pushed it forward. He would effectively initiate the creation of the standard. And here we are multiple years later. And effectively, Fidectus was founded in 2019 with the mission to make the OTC trading much easier, much more convenient, and effectively even increase the working capital by building an eSM solution back at the time, 2019. Few years, quite some traction initially, right? Bigger market participants onboarding to that quite fast because they clearly understood the value proposition. And then we experienced a little bit of a slowdown, which is lately turning into more and more traction. One point I see clearly is the e-invoicing regulation across the board. Obviously, you need to do something about it. So why not adopting a standard that does not only e-invoicing, but also gives you many more business benefits? We're going to talk about that later, right? On the other hand, similar to eCM, it's been there for a few years, right? The people actually realized it. There's a bit of an attendance bonus, right, in the niche industry we are in. And here we are. So we see quite a lot of traction this year. I personally believe there's a tipping point coming next year.
So let's be clear, you're actually seeing that increase, because one of the things we've been doing over the last few years is to try and encourage that increased uptake. And as you know, over the last year or so, we particularly picked up on e-invoicing as yet another reason to adopt eSM. But you're saying you're actually seeing that.
So we're seeing two things. We're seeing a massive increase also in terms of inbound. So people becoming really curious about the topic, understanding they need to do something on e-invoicing anyway, and becoming aware. So I think there is an awareness in the meanwhile, word of mouth, a word spread. And the second thing we see is the reality. The reality is we have an increasing number of customers onboarding to settlement on our platform.